That will go, I'll post in. I don't know if, I'm sure you've posted already. Hopefully this, I never know like if the link is gonna work. It's always kind of like technology, you just never know. Come on. Okay.
Let me go into my team page and holler at my ladies.
Okay. We are live too, so.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. I don't think I have any updates yet for August, so. I'm just gonna wait like 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start. And then people hopefully will just pop on as we go. Someone's on. Okay, when you guys hop on, say hey. Let us know who you are, where you're at. I'm gonna change it to me. And then I'll change it to you, Shakti, when you talk. Let us know when you get on. My sister's in the background listening. She's laughing at me. Okay, I'm just gonna get started, and then when you guys hop on, you can say hey. And questions can go in the chat. So I'm just gonna put in here to see if it works. Okay, perfect. So if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and we want questions. Shakti said it's easier for you guys to ask questions. So if you have questions at any point throughout her talking or me talking, post them in the chat and we will get to them either as she feels like, if she wants to get to them like as she's talking or at the end, however she wants to do that. But I'm super, super excited for this call tonight because this has been like, I feel like a huge shift that I've had in my, not only mindset, but just in how I'm like writing and looking and saying my goals. And this is, for me, has only happened in the last like maybe month, half a month. And a lot of it has to do with like her, like switching that switch and like basically sharing and telling me that like I'm on the right track with what I'm doing. And then I'm also reading this book. I should have had this. This book has totally started this, The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. Because I was feeling like you guys, if you guys know me, I've been coaching for a really long time. My name's Lauren Ricks, for 6 years. And I always thought like for goals that we had to set like a number type goal. So like for the last like 5.5, 6 years, I've been setting goals like that, like 10 star, this much a month, this much, like all these number goals. And none of them are like really, they're not soul goals. They're not feel good goals. I couldn't really like feel them or necessarily like see them because I hadn't accomplished them yet. So like these are goals, you guys, that I have literally been setting every year for like the last 4 years, and none of them have happened yet. And I truly think it's because of the way I've been wording them, the way I've been like going into my goal setting. And it's like, it's so true that we have to constantly be like growing over our journey. Like what I know now is totally different than what I even knew a year ago. And this is, I feel like, is a huge shift that's going to help me set my goals. And I really wanted Shakti to talk about just basically like what we talked about, and then like her process in setting these up. And this is an awesome book too. I don't know if she will say this is an awesome book. I really think this has been a really awesome book for me, The Desire Map, just to like lay it out and just to know that it's okay if your goals aren't like, I don't know, like traditional, I guess is kind of what you would, I don't know if you would call them traditional, but just like what you think when you think like, oh, I need to set goals. You don't always set like the feeling type goals. So I'm going to go over like just a little bit about Shakti, and then she's going to kind of just take it away. So she's a brand new diamond. She just turned diamond, went diamond last week already. You've been coaching for a little over a year, I believe, a year and a half. And I feel like she hits Success Club with grace every month, like, and brings on people, and it just like, I don't want to say it comes easy, but I feel like it happens because of how you run your business. And that's like a whole nother call we could do on just like your essence with your business, I feel like. And I just I admire the crap out of you and how you run your business, because it's not, I wouldn't say traditional, but it's getting shit done. And I think that I just admire the crap out of you. So I'm just going to let you kind of take it away. And if you guys have questions, like I said, post them in the chat. And it's all you, lady.
Thank you so much. Such a sweet introduction. So my name is Shakti. I've been coaching for about 1.5 years. I am a brand new diamond. And a little bit before I dive into how this came to be and teaching goals the way that I now like to teach them, important to remember is that your subconscious mind responds to your feelings. Your subconscious mind does not respond to facts or numbers. It doesn't care. It responds to emotion. So while goal setting traditionally has been, get very concrete on what you desire and write it down, which is true, you're 80% more likely to hit something when you write it down. The missing element in teaching this has been, what's the emotional component behind the goal? Because if you're not emotionally engaged with the goal, it can't actually make an impact on the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is the place from which you operate. It's the thermostat that was set when you were a child between ages 0 to 7. And once you become an adult, it becomes far more difficult to change the template that was already set for you when you were that young. The only way you can do that is through repetition. And the most effective way to do that is through emotional repetition. So it's engaging in something that's emotional to you, that has a charge for you, in order for it to really sink into the subconscious mind and create change. Now, when I entered this business as a brand new coach, like we all enter this business, I was given a roadmap and a set of instructions that felt not in alignment with who I was. I was told to set goals in a certain way that didn't necessarily feel good for me. And instead of becoming discouraged and saying this isn't going to work for me, I said, I have to find a way that works for me. This is the language that I used. And so for the first few months in my business, I worked it the way I was told, and I set the goals the way that I was taught, and it just didn't happen. And what ended up happening for me is I got burnout, and I wanted to quit like 3 times, and I cried to my sponsor, Anne, a million times, because I was like, this is horrible. I feel terrible. And it wasn't until I started to pay attention to my feelings and what my feelings were trying to tell me that I really started to shift the way that I worked my business. And as Lauren so beautifully put it, found the grace in my business. And that's now, grace is a huge word for me. And it's become the way that I work this business that I love, and the way that I am consistently successful at this business without being like a hit or miss coach, So I'm going to, right up front, I'm going to give you a couple of exercises, and I just want you guys to write this down before I go into what I would consider to be the way that I've now set goals and how that's changed my life. Okay, so the very first thing I want you to write down is, after this call, this is an exercise that I gave to Lauren, and it's a really good exercise. I want you to write your own eulogy. So I want you to imagine that you are at your own funeral, and you are giving yourself a eulogy. Okay? What would you say in this eulogy? What would you want to have said about you at the end of your life? What would you want someone that you love to say about you? This is a really powerful exercise. Don't take it lightly. You will probably cry, because we never stop to ask ourselves this question. And it's a pivotal question in identifying what actually matters to you. Because what's going to happen when you do this exercise is you're going to see the kind of legacy you actually want to leave in the world. It's going to wash away all the bullshit day-to-day stuff, and it's going to really show you what actually matters to you. This is why this exercise is like gold. Okay? I want you to write your eulogy, then I want you to read it out loud. And then I want you to highlight the legacy you'd like to leave behind. So after you've read it out loud, I want you to go through it and highlight the parts of it that are what you really want to leave behind, the message you really want to leave here. I want you to do that exercise, okay? And what this boils down to is I'm getting you to your goal by reverse engineering it. I'm starting with, what legacy do you want to leave here? That's the first place. What message? What's your opus? What's your thing that you're going to leave behind that people are going to know you for? Okay? Then I want you to back up a little bit, and I want you to ask yourself, what kind of a man or woman has that life? What kind of a man or woman lives, and I'll start with mine as an example because it's a lot easier. For me, the most important thing that anyone can say at my funeral, consistent example of unlimited compassion and love in the world. That I was a consistent example of guidance and nurturing, and I never faltered from that way of being. That to me is the most important thing anybody can say about me when I'm dead. So when I think about the kind of woman who has that life, she's a woman who lives by her integrity. She's a woman who lives by her word. She's a woman that shows up when she says she's going to show up and rests when she says she's going to rest. Okay? She's a woman who builds honest, sincere, compassionate relationship with other people. She's a woman who wakes up every day and desires to give her best even when she's struggling. Okay? That's the kind of woman who lives that kind of life. So I want you to think about, what's your legacy, and then what's the kind of person that lives that kind of life? What are they like if you had to strip them out? What do their days look like? What do their days look like? This person that is in your eulogy, what do their days look like? What do their days feel like? What do they enjoy the most? What lights them up? What makes them feel like their heart is on fire and they want to just laugh and they're tingly all over? You know that feeling when you're in a moment and you're just tingly with joy? Like maybe you're watching your child do something really sweet and you're just overwhelmed with this feeling of like deep joy. Okay? Those are the moments that make you come alive. So what are those moments for that person that you wrote in your eulogy? What are those moments? Okay? I want you to get into things like, for me, I'll use myself as an example again. This is the kind of person who loves travel and loves culture and loves to learn about other people's culture and become exposed to other people's culture. The kind of woman who loves food from all around the world, who loves festivals and music, who loves spiritual retreats and meditation, right? This is the kind of person that she is, that I aspire to be. I want you to get really clear on that. And then I want you to do another exercise after you've done all of this. Another one I gave Lauren, if you woke up tomorrow and you checked your bank account and you had $500,000 sitting in your bank account, what would you do with your day? What would you do with your day? And at first you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go shopping, I'm gonna go to the spa, I'm gonna spend some money, I'm gonna take a trip, right? But after all of that is done, what are you going to do with your time? If you continued to wake up every single day and that amount of money was in your bank account, what would you be doing with your time? Because after a while, spending it and tripping and doing all that stuff gets old. You're going to have done it all. So what are you going to do then? Where are you going to dedicate your time then? And when you can answer that question, you're going to learn something really valuable about yourself. Really, really valuable. Something really deep. So do that exercise after you've done the previous one. And what I want you to take away from all of this is that your goals need to be about the experiences that you desire to have as if you've already have them right now. So when you're writing a goal, you're not saying, you know, I am a Star Diamond coach, right? My end of the year goals, I'm a 2-star Premier Diamond coach. You're describing the experience of having that kind of life, okay? So as a 2-star Diamond Premier coach, this is an easy script for you to write. As a blank coach, my mornings look and feel like as follows. Describe it. When I wake up in the morning, I have time to be with my family, with my kids, have coffee on my porch, look at the mountains. Every 3 months we get to travel, go somewhere new and look at new experiences. And I love having this life of leisure and time and flexibility. I love being able to connect with my family at will. I love Okay, write it in a language that is emotionalized when you write these experiences. That you love this. I love that this is like this. I so enjoy that this is like this. This brings me so much joy. Use words that connect with feelings, so when you're reading it, you're tapping into that feeling and it's activating that feeling inside of you. Okay? So you're gonna write your goals. I want you to take whatever goals you've already written and change them. Write them into experiences that are attached to that number or income goal. What does making $1,000 a week mean to you? What does that mean to you? What does making $10,000 a week mean to you? What is the experience? Because it's not the money, you guys. It's not the money and it's not the rank. It's what those things represent. The reason you want those things is because they represent a certain experience that they're going to give you when you've attained them. So what is that experience? Get to that experience, because that is the core of what you want. The rank and the income is a side effect of the experience that you desire to have. So you need to identify what that is. Get clear on that. I've done this. I wrote a vision out in this language, using the same language I just told you, and I read it every morning and every evening. And I have since I got back from Summit specifically. Okay? Came back from Summit. I woke up at 4:35 a.m. every single morning. The first thing I do is have Energize. I read personal development and I read my vision, and then I work out and start my day. Okay? And since I've been doing that, I mean, I went diamond like this. My team is exploding. I have half emeralds and emeralds popping up all over the place. Where I have been stagnant for over a year, it's suddenly completely changed. Okay? That's not a coincidence. That's not magic. That's me setting an intention every single morning and every single evening, the first hour of my day and the last hour of my day, to create a life that's very conscious. And this is what you have to do also. So write a vision that's basically all of your goals strewn together. Make it a story. We love stories. We are storytellers and we respond to stories. So weave a story of your goals, put it all together. So when you read it, it's like reading a bedtime story to yourself or a morning story to yourself. Okay, and make it engaging for you. So that's what I do. Okay, I've read that every morning, every evening. The other thing I've done is I've created Achieve Executive Aim. And I got this from Think and Grow Rich. If y'all have not read Think and Grow Rich, you need to get that book stat. I mean, like yesterday. Find it on audio, find it in a physical book. Read this book. It's brilliant. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's a fantastic book. He talks about having a chief executive aim, and he breaks it down like this. Your chief executive aim is, what do you want? So for me, I write this in the most immediate next thing that I want. Okay? So the vision is sort of like a longer everything that I'm looking at together. But the chief executive aim is what's the most next immediate thing that I'm desiring. So for me, it's 2-star Diamond Premier. That's the most immediate thing I'm desiring. When do you want that by? So I am a 2-star Diamond Premier coach. I am a diamond coach. By, set a date. Concrete date. Okay? And then here's the key part. What are you willing to do for that thing? You have to outline what you are willing to do or what you are willing to give for that thing. So something I write down is 2-star Diamond Premier coach by December 15th of this year, because that's my birthday. I am committed, that's the language that I use, I am committed to hitting Success Club 10 every single month. I am committed to welcoming 5 coaches every single month. I am committed to helping 3 of my coaches rank up every single month. I am committed to mentoring my team by showing up with them one-on-one on a weekly basis, offering them resources, going live in our team page, shouting them out when they have any modicum of success, right? I outline all of that. This is what I'm willing to give. I'm willing to give of my time, of my resources, of my focus, of my commitment, of staying on task and working my business when I say I'm going to work my business. This is what I'm willing to give. And then, how will this change your life and how will it change others' lives? How will it change your life that you do all these things that you're saying you're committed to and then hit the goal that you're saying you want? How is that going to change your life? And then, how is it going to change the lives of others when you do those things? How is it going to affect your team? How is it going to affect your customers? What is the ripple effect from this commitment that you're making and from hitting that goal? Okay. And this is something else that I read every morning and every evening. And when you wake up with that in your mind and you go to sleep with that in your mind, it is inevitable that you begin to change the tape in the subconscious mind. It has to respond to you because you're charging it with something so potent and so clear. It has no other direction to go but in the direction that you're telling it to go. That's an inevitable result of doing the work. But you have to get into the feeling part. And this is why you're talking about how is it going to change your life? How is it going to change other people's life? Because that's where you emotionalize the commitment. You make the commitment first. I commit to blank, 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 blank. And then you emotionalize the commitment by talking about how that's going to change your life. So like a lot of information in a short amount of time, but hopefully that makes sense. So this is how I write my goals, okay? I write them in the format of a story. I write that from looking at who I desire to be at the end of my life. What do I want people to say about me? How do I want to honor the world? What do I want to leave behind when I'm gone? And I write it backwards. I start with that identification and then I identify the kind of person who has that life. I identify the kind of values that person has. And then I create goals and experiences around those values. And then the rank and stuff is sort of secondary to that. But I focus on the experiences that that rank and that income is going to give me. I'm still clear about the rank that I want to attain. I'm still clear about the income that I want to have. But I'm focused on the experiences those things are going to give me and not that itself. And that's what makes a difference. That's what I've got.
Oh, have I not been muted the whole time? Have you been able to hear me? No?
I haven't heard you speak.
Okay. Would you want to give like an example of one, maybe like a rank one? Because I feel like all of us probably have like a rank goal. So like, do you want to just give like an example of, I know you kind of gave a little bit of an example, but just so I feel like people, well, I suppose, I don't know, some type of example. Because I know for like people who, I'm not a writer, so when I listen, I'm not a writer. When I listen, I'm like, what the heck am I, like, what am I supposed, like, what am I supposed to write? Like, what is it supposed to look like? Because I think we get stuck in this, like, right or wrong, and you don't just literally let your heart flow. So just an example of what you feel like you're feeling called to.
The easiest way to do this, and the way I chose to do this, was to start with describing my ideal day. So I wake up in the morning, I can almost recite it word for word because I've read it so much at this point. I wake up in the morning at 4:30 a.m. and I feel calm and rested. Go to the bathroom and I describe my bathroom, what it looks like, because I'm looking for a house right now. So I'm describing that in my vision. That's part of my vision. I walk into my bathroom that looks like this and has this, use the restroom. I walk out, I go into my walk-in closet that looks like this and has this. I get dressed in my workout clothes. I go downstairs to my kitchen that looks like this and like this. I prepare some Energize, and I sit down in my reading chair that looks like this in my living room. And I read personal development and journal. And then I go to my home gym that looks like this and like this in my home, right? So I'm describing what I'm doing in my day and my daily schedule. I then get ready for my son. I take him to the school that's like this and that aligns with my beliefs that are these and these, right? I'm describing it as it's already happening. I already have that. And I'm putting in there what matters to me. Like right now I'm home searching. So that's why the description of my home is so tied into my vision, because that's something I'm creating, as well as a school for my son. But that might not be the case for you. So you write your day with the specifics of what you want to bring into your life. So if what you want to bring into your life is more time, then describe in detail what it feels like to wake up in the morning not to an alarm clock. What does it feel like to wake up in the morning and to have your coffee wherever you want, at whatever pace you want? To be able to see your children and play with them before they go to school, right? So when you're writing it, the easiest place to go is to start describing your ideal day. If you could do whatever you wanted at any point in time, what would you do with your day? And that will help you get into that like flow. Insane.
I think that's so important. In writing it, like, there's no, like, you don't work. I think that's the biggest thing. People like assume they have to work for the rest of their life. So like take work out of it. And like you said, the first question, like if you were to wake up and had $500,000 in your bank account, like what would your ideal day look like? You didn't have to go to your job. Look like, and you guys, like if your ideal day doesn't start at 4:30 in the morning, what time does it start with? Maybe you don't have kids and you would just like to sleep in. Put that, you know, and then describe the whole thing. And I think that's huge. And that's the easiest place I feel like to start. That was very like perfect for that.
Yeah. It is. And what you will find when you don't have to do anything is that you're going to naturally want to be of service. That's when I've done this. I used to coach clients one-on-one, like privately. I had a coaching practice. And whenever I did this exercise with people, they would always inevitably, like after they bought all the stuff they wanted and traveled and did all the stuff with that exercise, it'd be like, well, I would start an orphanage. And I was like, of course, because that's what happens is we're naturally led to service when we're done satisfying these immediate needs, right? So like I told my husband the other day, if I was making $1 million a day, I would still be working with Beachbody because I fucking love Beachbody. I love working out every day. I love my challenge groups. They're the highlight of my fucking day, for sure. I would do that with my eyes closed. It wouldn't change, you know? And so that's why I think the success has come, because my vision and my joy are so tied to each other. I'm not like I told you, I'm not setting goals that require willpower. I'm setting goals that are aligned with soul power. And because of that, because I have so much joy and so much soul into it, the success is like inevitable. It just follows.
Right. And I think, you guys, the biggest thing that she said too is, even if she was making $1 million a day, she would still be doing this. Like, check yourself. Like, if you, even going this way, if you weren't making any money with this, would you still do this? Like, if you weren't to get paid as a coach, would you still do this? I would. Like, I would still be doing this if we didn't make money doing it. So, like, if you said, no, I wouldn't, like, I would never do this if I didn't get paid. That's probably why your business isn't going anywhere. That's why you're not seeing success, because you're so focused around, I'm not making money, this isn't working, and your mindset where it is just not where it needs to be. You're focused around the wrong thing. So that's huge.
Let me add to that too, that as Lauren said, I've been really consistent with Success Club and, you know, 10 and above as well. Like I usually aim for like high numbers, and I for the most part hit the numbers that I said I want to hit. And I never set an invitation goal. This is true.
Mic drop.
I'm telling y'all the truth. Mic drop. I never set an invite goal. Do you know what happens? I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you right now how I hit all those numbers and how I have a successful business. I talk to a lot of fucking people every day. A lot of them, like 300 a week. I'm not kidding. I talk to a lot of people. You know why? Because I love people. Because people need more people that love them. This is the truth. People need more people that love them. People need to be celebrated, loved, shouted out, hugged virtually, and seen. You have no idea how isolated people feel in this world. And when you show up on their Instagram or their Facebook and you just give them a comment saying, you look amazing, I'm so proud of you, great job, when they have nothing to do with you and haven't dropped a dime on you, you better believe they're going to turn around and follow your ass because you did something for them that no one does for them. Okay? This is why I'm so successful, because I love people. Whether they pay me a dime, whether I make a commission off of them or not, it doesn't matter. That's not my job. My job is to support people. And I see that as a role that I live 24/7, like all the time. That never turns off. So by just talking to people and showing up and supporting them and celebrating them wherever they are, I inevitably get people saying, hey, yes, I want to join your group. I get referrals. Hey, this girl is awesome. Join her group. People who don't even like Beachbody, they're like, hey, this girl, she's a great Beachbody coach. You should join her group. I can't tell you how many referrals I've gotten from people saying that. So don't look at this as like, I need to invite this many people. I need to do this. look at this as an opportunity for you to show up for people and really love them. And when you get that connection and that flow, extend them an invitation as casual as, girl, I love your energy. I love your posts. You're so inspiring. Have you ever considered doing what I do? I feel like you'd be amazing at what I do. You've got that vibe. As soon as you compliment someone and you deliver them that question, they have to say yes to you. It's like they don't even know what to say. They can't be mean to you because they're so moved by the fact that you took the time to compliment them and see them for who they are. Or joining a challenge group. I see you working so hard. I see you're so committed to your health. Have you ever considered joining one of my fit groups? I feel like you would absolutely love it. You would totally thrive. How can anybody be mean to you when you ask somebody like that? But that's the energy you have to be in, right? And this goes with living from your soul and setting soul goals. It's all about an experience. When I talk to people, I want to create an experience for them. I don't just want to deliver information. I want to be an experience for them. And that is directly related to how I set goals for myself and how I desire to live, right? The kind of person that I saw in my eulogy is the kind of person that I am when I'm talking to people every day, all day. So,
right. I think, guys, something huge too, if you're scared to talk to people or start that relationship, thank people for liking your post.
So easy.
Like, don't even go into it thinking like you have to send an invite. Literally, like I posted a picture yesterday of my family for like, we were at my grandpa's birthday party and I posted a picture of my family. Like I had almost 200 people like that. And you bet your ass today I went through and thanked almost all of them, not Beachbody coaches, but all the people who weren't coaches for just liking my post on my family and thanking them for the love and support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know how many people have come back and said, oh my gosh, you're so welcome. I love your post. Like, just that.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't even get thanked enough for anything they do, you know? So like, just start with that if you don't know where to start. Just by, that's so easy. It's so easy.
Thank you and celebrate people. That's recognition is part of your vital behaviors, y'all. You don't just recognize your team. Go recognize other people who are doing amazing shit in the world and putting themselves out there. Go celebrate the weddings. Go celebrate the leaving domestic violence. Go celebrate babies. Go celebrate people. People need to be celebrated. And when you do that, you'll have an endless fountain of friends. I guarantee it. An endless source from which to bring people in. It's inevitable.
Right. I will say, though, you still have to show up and be posting. Like, you can be messaging people and like all that, but if you're not showing up on your platform to being somebody that they want to follow and positive and like being that positive person, like you don't even, not salesy, not only fitness, but that positive person they want to follow the success that she's seeing. Like, you still have to show up for yourself in your own journey. So don't skip that step, because it still comes down to you doing like and focusing on your journey first.
Well, if you're not doing that, you don't have to thank. You don't have where to thank from. You know what I mean? If you're not posting, you don't have any thank you posts to go back to. So you better post.
So if you're like, I don't know who to thank, check yourself. Have you been even posting? Because if you haven't posted in the last week, you better get posting on stuff that's not just sharing of things.
Yeah. And post from your soul, man. Like, don't post like, I mean, you're welcome to follow my page. I feel like I do a pretty good balance of whatever. My brand isn't set. I don't have like a brand that I follow. Branding is important. Yeah, I understand that, but that's not me. Like, it doesn't feel good to me right now. So I'm not doing that. I'm still being successful. So, you know, don't fall into the trap of believing that you have to have this or you have to have that. Just be who you are and show up every single day and go love on people. There are 3 things you can take away from this call. Be who you are, show up, go love people. You're going to be massively successful. It's going to be insane to you how successful you are. It's really that simple. And set goals that align with that that legacy you want to leave behind. What kind of a person? Do you want to be an inspiring person? Do you want to be a person that touches people's souls really deeply? You know, really do the eulogy exercise and get deep into that, because when you figure that out, you're going to know who you want to be when you're talking to people. You're going to get clarity on what kind of a communication style you want to have with people. What feeling do you want to leave people with? That's so important. When people walk away from your conversation, how do you want them to feel about you? That's a huge question. Huge. When you look at your life 50 years from now and you look back, how do you want to feel about your life? That's huge. That's why the eulogy exercise is so important. That's really, really vital. Don't skip that.
Right. No, and I know she gave you guys like a lot of questions to ask yourself and like dig deep. It's work. It is, but
Yeah.
it will pay off because I when I wrote the eulogy, I like Voxered her and I was like, holy shit, like I wrote my eulogy and I'm crying. And like, you just don't know, like things come out that you don't even know that you even cared about, you know, and they're the things that you thought you would, you know, like the goals I've been writing, they didn't come out, you know, like she told me, she was like, nobody's going to care that you were at this rank or you were making this much. It's the experience in your life and who you are that people are going to remember, not or the rank you were or what business you're in. So it's just do it. Like do it tomorrow by the end of like, what is today? Monday. Do it this week. Like set time aside, half hour, 15 minutes to an hour. I don't know however long it's going to take you to like literally wrap your brain around it all, but quiet, peace and quiet, and do it. Like even doing it, I feel like in an inspiring place that like makes you feel inspired will help. You know, like don't just do it at your kitchen table if it's full of crap. You know, like find a place that you feel inspired to do it because things will like, I feel like start flowing. So.
And I want to add, we're at a really epic full moon right now. I don't know if you guys follow astrology at all or not, but I do. I'm really big on that. I do videos on that all the time. And tomorrow in particular, it's 8/8/17. It's a really powerful gate that's opening energetically. So it's a time for powerful manifestation and bringing stuff into your life that's really big and bold. So use this full moon, get your prayers in order, get some quiet time, and get bold about what you're asking for. Get bold in your prayers to God. Get bold in your requests. Get really, really bold. Because the bolder you are, the more glory you can manifest, the more beautiful things you can see happen in your life. So get really creative and really bold with it. This energy is totally on your side. This is like the time to do it for sure.
Perfect. I don't see any questions, but if you guys are watching the recording and you have questions, you can just comment them in our team page. I would say message Shakti, but I feel like if you post them in the team page in Freedom Tribe, that way, you know, if she's getting a lot, she can maybe make a video and it can hit more people than just her answering you. And if you guys feel like you want to dig deeper into like what she has to offer, I highly suggest it. Like, it literally like has changed just my mood and my energy around my business, and that happened last week. Like I feel like it happened a long time ago, but it literally happened last week, and I feel like I'm a whole new, like I have a whole different outlook on my business. And like you guys, I've been coaching for 6 years, so you know, just if you need something different, check it out. Even if you're like, I feel like a new coach, sometimes you just need like an outlook on like where your life is going. Or
I'm doing that with my coaches now, actually. When they're hitting Success Club, I'm giving them a free reading. I'm doing that for them because I feel like that's a really powerful exchange for them to get clarity. But if you're open-minded, if you're curious, reach out to me. I'm happy to schedule something with you. I'm very flexible, and I love to do this. This is a huge passion of mine. But tag me if you're on Freedom Tribe, you have a question. You can tag me in the question. Then if I see a commonality in questions, I'll make a video and I'll do it live in the team page, and then I'll respond.
Perfect. Perfect. I loved it. It was perfect. And it wasn't too much information, I don't think.
Okay. I tried to make it more like a story and less like a bunch of bullet points.
Right. Yeah. My sister was listening too, and she was like, it was good. It wasn't like, and it's doing the work, you guys. Like, it's not hard work, but it's gonna make you step out of your comfort zone. You might tear up, you might cry, but what did you tell me on whatever day we talked last night? Like when I broke down and started crying, and you were like, "This is you being like the most you," or like what is something about soul? Like
this is the most raw you're ever going to be. When someone starts crying in a reading, I'm like happy, because you know what happened? All that external shit fell apart and they finally showed up. That's how I know that they're really in the room with me. When they start to cry, I'm like, yep, there you are. Because that's the most real you're ever going to be. So if it starts to happen, let it happen. And find out who you are when those tears are flowing. Because that is who you are. And that is who you want to be writing that piece of paper. And you guys, as within, so without. Do not believe that you can have an external reality that is not based on your internal reality. And if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, and you don't know where you want to go and who you'd like to become, you can't have the kind of life that those people have. All right? So do the work. Do it.
I agree. Okay, well, I'll let you go and recharge because I'm sure you're ready for it. So
yes,
thank you so much. It was wonderful. If you guys have questions, like I said, post in Freedom Tribe and you can tag Shakti, and hopefully she'll maybe just do another video if a lot of you have questions. So thank you for those of you on, and thank you for watching the recording. And I love you guys. Love you, girl. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.